My wife is always saying, use your indoor voice. I said, honey, I'm outside all the time. I developed this outside voice. Anyway, what we'd like to show you today is, do I have any school teachers in the audience, in the crowd here? Yeah, you know that your bosses are always saying, use technology, use technology. Well, we're going to show you some 18th century technology today. So, come on in the shade, folks. I don't want anybody to stand out there in the sun and get overheated. Anyway, what we're going to do, shoulder pile up.
All right, take distance mark.
What we want to show you is how these muskets work. I want to make you aware that every weapon that you'll see with us today they're real weapons. They will fire a live round. We're not shooting live rounds. I hope you know that. Because I hope you know I would not be doing this if we were shooting live rounds at each other. But they will fire live rounds, and many of these men are very good shots. Several of them can't hit the earth, but most of them are good shots. Anyway, we want to show you what makes these weapons work, and then we'll fire them for you. But all of the weapons that you see are muzzle-loading, flintlock weapons. And all of these weapons, in fact, are muskets. We don't have any rifles here with us right now. All of these men are from the recreated 8th Pennsylvania Regiment. That's one of the regiments that was stationed right here. They helped build the fort, and then they helped garrison the fort. They're making sure right now that those weapons are empty and safe to bring up close to you and show you. We want you to be able to, there's going to be a test at the end of this, a written test, and you're going to have to pass to leave.
Oh, yeah.
So,
we win.
Huh?
We win.
Well, if you pass the test, you can go home when we're done. If you don't pass the test, you're going to have to go to summer school. We're not just passing you through because you're older.
I was a special ed teacher, so therefore we need accommodations.
Spread on out. Spread on out.
Okay.
What they're going to, and if you can't see, get to a place, call a soldier over where you can see. Remember your muzzle discipline. Folks, I need guys down here. I need a couple fellas down here. Bill, you're a school teacher. You get this thing squared away. All right, all of these weapons are muzzle loaders, which means that, Dan, they load from the front. You put the ball and the powder in the front. I also said that they're flintlock. Flintlock means this. The flintlock is that little machine right above the trigger. Now, one of the most obvious things you'll notice on that is there's a part called the cock.
I was looking at this is authentic.
It's like a rooster's head.
It looks like a rooster's head. Can you see that? Doesn't it look like a rooster? Sure it does. Humor me. Use your imagination. Humor me. It looks like a rooster. Anyway, in the jaws of the rooster, in the jaws of the cock is a piece of flint. Now, you all know that flint is a kind of stone that can be knapped or sharpened to a very, very sharp edge. Now, in front of that cock with the flint in its jaws is a piece called the steel. And the reason that it's called the steel is that it's made out of steel. Now that seems pretty obvious, but I will tell you this. In the 18th century, most of the white metal on these muskets is not steel, it's iron. And iron won't work like steel works. What do you think happens if we let that cock fly forward and the flint hits the steel? What happens? Sparks! Just like your Zippo lighter. 18th century technology and your modern lighter, your 18th century Zippo lighter. Now, look where those sparks would drop. There's a groove
right into the pan.
Called the pan.
See, I know these words. See?
You better for the BAR.
Well, I learned it from my father.
See,
Wasn't required
next to
testing
the
from
pan,
the muzzleloader in my closet.
next to the pan is a hole
If it's good
called
and
the
it's
vent.
nice and net, you can get 20, 30
See the
grams
vent?
out of it. If you start thirsty.
That's important. If that hole's not there, the rifle doesn't function.
Gonna get the air.
All right, so how does all this go together? On every soldier, he's wearing a cartridge box on his right hip, because all soldiers are right-handed. How many of you gentlemen or ladies were in the Army or in the military?
Yeah,
My
then that.
dad was a left-handed.
Were there any left-handed soldiers?
Yes.
No!
Yes.
There were no left-handed soldiers because there are no left-handed guns in the military. They're right-handed guns, seriously, until right now. Until the weapon they use right now changed that. All military weapons were right-handed weapons from the American Revolution through the M16. Anyway, so all these right-handed soldiers reach into their cartridge box on their right hip and they take out a cartridge. I hope some of you rolled the cartridge so you know what we're talking about. You can roll the cartridge over there, by the way. Yeah. Anyway, so they take out that cartridge. It's just a paper tube. It's just a paper tube with a pre-measured amount of powder and a lead ball about 7/10 of an inch across. They tear the top of that off with their teeth or their other hand. You have to have teeth. And they put a little bit of powder, they pour a little bit of powder in the pan. That's called priming the pan. Then they shut the steel,
Shut it.
pass the weapon about, dump the rest of the gunpowder down the board, push that ball, still wrapped in the paper on in, then they take their ramrod out and they shove that ball clear to the bottom. The reason they do that is the powder will certainly drop down all by itself. But the ball, after the first shot or two, might stop partway down. And if you leave that ball just partway down the barrel, you made a pipe bomb. It's going to go off in front of your face. The ball has to be sitting tightly on the powder. Now, the weapon's ready to fire. So you put the weapon in the half-cocked position, or fully cocked position.
That's why you don't go on.
By the way,
That's right.
would you like to do this?
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're giving away my best stuff.
I'm sorry.
Anyway, you put the cock in the fully cocked position because the half-cocked position is a safe position. The musket's not supposed to go off half-cocked. Anyway, you put it in the fully cocked position and you pull the trigger. The cock flies forward, flint strikes the steel, sparks drop into the powder in the pan, that burns through the vent hole into the main powder charge and out it goes. 15 to 20 seconds, these men ought to be able to do that. So 3 to 3.5 times a minute. If everything goes right. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. The flint can get tall, fouling can build up on the surface of the steel. Anyway, that's about it. Those are the things that go wrong. Please take 3 minutes to talk to that person right in front of you and ask them the questions that I couldn't holler out one at a time.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm sorry. I was trained by my father.
I know it was a sharpshooter, but when you have your bayonet,
What he was talking about here, this is on here as a safety device. So like if I had that in the full cocked position back, and I didn't want it to go off yet, it won't make a spark, and then that way I don't waste any ammunition or hurt anybody.
that's how you came out there.
Yeah, you're welcome to come. So, it's very dirty though. All this black powder that we look at how dirty I get.
They did,
Wearing these white uniforms,
makes it-
like you would think they would wear
so much
Navy blue or
heavier.
something, you know. So you want to take a picture?
Well, and sometimes
Anything you do.
you see they're all built. When the muskets are built, they're built so the bayonet throws off to the outside, which what I was trying to say about all these weapons are right-handed. See, that way a right-hander can take this out and load right through the bayonet. If that bayonet came off to the other side, if it came off to this side, it'd be in the way. So,
right, but you said it takes, earlier you said it takes 15 to 20 seconds to reload.
yeah.
So I'm thinking if a person's coming at you and you're reloading,
You're absolutely right.
you have nothing.
You're absolutely right. That's why they didn't all fire at the same time. That's why they didn't all fire at the same time.
Okay.
But yeah, sometimes they go into battle with their bayonets. But if you're going to be shooting much more inaccurately, it only takes a second to put that bayonet. And it takes less time just to turn and run away. Which is, by the way, that's a military tactic too. Running away is not a bad idea. If you're outnumbered, run away. As a matter of fact, that's the primary tactic of the American woodland Indians. Is you fight until the sides are even, and you can't clearly win, and then you run away. And that's smart.
So 150, 200
Against the Indians.
Well, they can disappear with that.
north of Pittsburgh.
I guess that's the honor also about shooting people out British turn around for a company, then British would honor system, you don't shoot you.
Thank you, ladies.
Average range on these weapons to hit a man-sized target. A good shot is 80 yards. If you can hit a man at 80 yards with this once or twice out of 5 shots, you're a good shot. At 50 yards, you should be able to hit that man 4 out of 5 times. 35 yards, 5 out of 5. 25 yards, you should be able to pick the button. So they get more accurate the closer you get. But remember, if it takes 20 seconds to load and you shoot at him at 35 yards, you had better not miss. You know, because he's going to be on top of you. The other thing is, because of the inaccuracy of the weapon, they fired in volleys. So this is what it looks like. And so my friend John here, if we all decide to shoot at John and the ball wanders 4 feet in one direction or the other, so what? Those people on either side of John are also the enemy, right? But this is what it looks like. And my job is to make sure that my company is loading and firing like one big shotgun. So this is what it looks like. Make ready. Take aim. See, that's pretty scary. And if they shot at John, somebody would hit him. Right, John?
I think we're both hit, John.
Shoulder fire. Company, right straight. Take care of counter march by the right about. Mark. We're going to really fire, but I want them to be pointed in the other direction.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Halt. Left face. Excellent. Company. Half right. Wheel. Halt. Prime man. Load. Now we're not going to ram these blank rounds. All that does is put a projectile in the barrel when if we put the ramrod down.
That's the extra 20 seconds.
Huh?
That's the extra 20 seconds.
Well, it makes it a lot faster without ramming, but a couple of these fellows are really fast and could probably beat 3.5 times a minute.
This guy in front there, he's pretty fast.
Nick, ready? Take aim! Fire! Run and load! This is a pretty good day for firing on a day that's not so humid. Yesterday was not that good a day for shooting muskets because if you remember during the explanation, you poured powder into that pan and it was exposed to any rain that might be coming down. Actually, we had a lot of weapons go off yesterday. We had a lot that didn't as well. First section, make ready. Take aim. Fire. Run and load. Now, if what you were talking about is, the lady asked, well, what happens if they all fire and then the enemy can rush in while they're reloading? The answer to that is standard procedure was you don't all fire at the same time. For instance, the second section will hold their fire until the first section is loaded again. And now, it decreases your firepower, but it also means that you can't just be rushed up on. Now, in a regiment, this second section, make ready, take aim, fire, on the load. Sergeant Hornbrook, when they're loaded. Get ready. Take aim. Fire. Mark. Company. Secure arm.
Somebody
Shoulder. Fire line. Rear rank. Close in the front. Mark. Company, left, face. Mark. Halt. Right, face. Front, mark. Now, let's say that you're the enemy. And we look over here and we notice that you have dropped some of your weapons. Some of you don't even have a weapon. A few of you look like you're getting ready to run. And what would happen is they would use a bayonet. Now, unlike the charges in the movie The Patriot, they didn't just run, because if you're the fastest guy in your company, that's a bad thing. You're going to get there way ahead of everybody else and you're in trouble. You want to get there with all your friends.
Give us the bayonet.
Alright! Bayonet! Company will advance. Slow march! Take care! Halt! Now, you see, this is way more scary than if we got up here one or two at a time. And by the way, most bayonet charges didn't meet an enemy when they got to where they were going, because the enemy decided to shoulder your firearms. Case Pennsylvania, present arms. We're saluting you. Thank you. Shoulder, firearm. Unfixed, bayonet. All right, folks, we're getting ready to do an artillery demonstration right over there where the artillery is. Try to find yourself a place in the shade over there. It's directly across the street. So go over there. Thanks for coming to Fort Lawrence, by the way.